Today is Tuesday, the 28th of October, and for the next hour, we're going to be spending the time to cover everything that's going on in the last 24 hours in the world of AI that you should be paying attention to. And we're going to try and build something too in the meantime. So, for starters, we are going to share our screen. We're going to pull up an app or a product that we can build something with. And today it's going to be with Google AI Studio. And we're going to actually see what we can do together. Then we're going to read through some news. We're going to cover some posts from X, some reactions. And then, yeah, we'll see where we end up at the end of the hour. We can see if we have a working product. So let's get into the first part. Let me just make sure I'm sharing my screen correctly. We have this window, Google AI Studio. Okay, so if you haven't seen this before, this is Google AI Studio. Basically, what you can do is you can build applications with AI functionality and AI features without needing to know how to code. What you need to do is describe your idea in here. You could say, I'm feeling lucky, and then you can go off and build it, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to try something new today, and we're going to use the assistant inside of Comet, which is this pop open thingy here, to actually try and build the app for us. So why don't we start with kind of brainstorming some ideas? We can think about what we can build together, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to say this. I'm going to dictate, actually, because it's quicker than typing. Looking at all the features and functionality, what sort of apps can we make for somebody who's just starting out and who wants to maybe build and publish their first AI application on the internet? Okay, so what basically Comet can do, this Comet browser, it has context over your screen. And it will look at what you're looking at, and then it will recommend some apps for us. So here we go. We've got a few ideas here. We've got AI writing assistant, build a text generator that helps users write blog posts, use Gemini's text generation capability with custom prompts. Image generator, we've got a trip planner, recipe analyzer, AI chatbot for small businesses, tennis coach, video summarizer, brand identity, voice note transcriber, and conversational voice assistant. Okay. Why don't we try and do yeah, these are good. These are low technical barrier. Why don't we try and do a voice note transcriber or something like a yeah, let's do a voice note. Let's build a voice note transcriber. Okay. Please take over the screen. Over the screen. Write a detailed prompt on how we're going to build a voice note transcriber using all the functionality and AI capabilities that you've got on the screen. Okay. Cool. What AI features from the list do I need to add? Okay, this is a transcribe audio. Okay, so we need these ideas. Transcribe audio. We'll find it down here. We'll click on this one. That means it'll add it to the prompt. We'll need speech to text, which is generate speech, speech to text. Is that generate speech? 1, 2, 3. Generate speech. Fast AI responses, which was here. Summarization. Okay, we've got that already. Language generation, analyze images. Okay, keyword extraction, and maybe do we need anything else? I don't think we do? Let's just go with that. And then here is the prompt. Let's go with this. You're an app creator. You should build an application called Voice Note Transcriber. Okay. Let's go. Okay, let's paste this in. And we're going to let this go and start building. We'll close the assistant. You can see over time that it's going to start adding these features in and start building our app for us. Okay. So let's just check in on a couple of news stories from the last 24 hours and we can come back to it as it builds. So main one for today, OpenAI's less flashy rival might have a better business model. Anthropic, who's backed by Amazon and Google, is focusing on like corporate customers rather than the mass market. There he is. There's the main man. And here is the breakdown. OpenAI recently linked hundreds of billions of dollars, or inked hundreds of billions of dollars, for deals to build data centers filled with chips in hopes it will further its AI dominance. But one of its rivals, Amazon, the Amazon-backed developer Anthropic, has a clear path to making a sustainable business out of AI. Anthropic and OpenAI do similar things. They developed advanced AI models upon which chatbots, image generators, and a host of other tools are based, but they've approached it from the question of how to generate revenue, and one would hope profit from AI in different ways. Outside of OpenAI's close partnership with Microsoft, which integrates OpenAI's models with Microsoft software products, OpenAI caters for the mass market, and Anthropic has gone the other way. They're catering for business and enterprise customers. So Anthropic has generated much less mass market appeal. Obviously, the company said about 80% of its revenue comes from corporate customers. Last month, it said it had some 300,000 of them. That's cool. So you see, they don't need to make the same plays as ChatGPT do, as OpenAI do for like the mass market, as in releasing like video products or social products or like free tiers. They are just going for high paying customers from the most part, from corporate AI. Says Anthropic is also surprisingly close to OpenAI when it comes to revenue. The company is already at a 7 billion annual run rate and expects to get to 9 billion by the end of the year, a big lead of its better known rival in revenue per user. Okay, so OpenAI still has much more revenue. I think it's up at like 13 billion or 9 billion, maybe. One of them. But yeah, they're not far away. But obviously, they've got less customers, higher spend per customers. OpenAI got more customers, less spend per customer. So yeah, that's an interesting approach that ChatGPT and OpenAI can earn so much money just from these $20 a month plans and the $200 a month plan for pro customers too. But yeah, that's crazy. Two different approaches, but both obviously winning. Let's check back in on our app quick to see if we've got any progress. We do. We've got a simple note-taking app here. We've got a new note. Start uploading, or upload a file to begin. Summarize, suggest title, extract task, read aloud, add image. Okay, should we start recording and upload a file to begin? Okay, should we start? And just checking if this transcriber actually works. I'm just going to be recording my first note on here. This is basically just a brainstorm to get ideas out of my head and into a form of a note. Okay. I'm just checking. I'm just going to be recording my first note here. This is basically just a brainstorm. Okay, cool. That seems to work nicely. I don't know if we have to manually save note. Maybe we can actually add timestamp, improve summarization, auto save drafts, implement auto saving for note content and title changes, save the draft to local storage in a few seconds. Okay, so this actually hasn't got a back end. This is one of the downsides of actually using Google AI Studio. At the moment, there is no back end functionality. It's all front end, but we can do as much as we can do. But yeah, this actually saves the note now in here. You can read it aloud. You can add an image, summarize, suggest a title, extract tasks. That was quite a cool one. And now we're going to do an auto save feature added there. Let's go and check in on another story. Saudi Arabia, rich with oil, wants to be known as the AI exporter. The kingdom is pouring money into data centers. Oh, for God's sake. The kingdom is pouring money into data centers and working with the US and Chinese tech giants, landing its AI ambitions in the middle of a geopolitical tussle for tech power. In northwest Saudi Arabia, near the Red Sea, a planned $5 billion data center provide enough computing muscle for coders as far away as Europe to build artificial intelligence on the country's opposite coast. Another planned multi-billion dollar complex could be used by AI developers in Asia and Africa. So, for generations, they've obviously been the oil exporters. Now they want to move to be the AI exporters. So they're going to be chasing down computing power. They've obviously got immense resources to do so. And the main man himself, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is seizing a chance to turn Saudi Arabia's oil wealth into tech influence. Few nations can match the kingdom's cheap energy, deep pockets, and open land, the ingredients that tech firms need to operate the vast, power-hungry data centers that rob modern AI. That is very true. We've seen how many billions of dollars get actually sucked up by building data centers, and all of the big labs, big companies, Google, etc., are pumping tens of billions into it. And Saudi Arabia have the deepest pockets on earth, so why wouldn't they actually get into the mix? Already, Saudi Arabia has been negotiating with the American tech giants about its future data centers and deepening their ties. Execs from OpenAI, Google, Qualcomm, Intel, and Oracle are attending the country's annual Future Investment Initiative conference that begins on Monday. Nicknamed the Davos in the desert, next month Prince Mohammed is scheduled to visit the United States. One potential deal in the works would provide computing power to Elon Musk's XAI, a senior exec at Humane, a new state-backed company coordinating many AI projects. We'll actually see Humane in a minute because that's a very interesting project too. So overall, TLDR is Saudi Arabia want to build tons of data centers. They've got the capability to do so. And it looks like they're going to be helping the big labs with compute, which is very, very cool. Okay, we've got an autosave feature, it looks like. Of course, implementing a Rust autosave feature. I have updated the application to handle this. Okay, let's try it again. I've got a few tasks to do today. I need to write 5 new blog posts. I need to update the website. I need to turn my live stream into clips. I need to come up with a good thumbnail and then plan for tomorrow's stream. Remember to reach out to thumbnail designers too. Okay, so that has recorded. If I go to new note, is it going to save? It's going to save. That's cool. Okay, there should be, I'm going to just dictate this. There should be a way that shows me that it has been auto-saved because there's no notification or anything. Okay, let's send that off. And we'll move on to the next story. The CEO of Alphabet's ex-Astro Teller on what makes a moonshot. So Astro Teller is the lead at Alphabet's moonshot factory. This is where they invest money into huge bets that are more than likely not going to come off. So this is where the company incubates the nearly impossible. You shed a look into what makes a moonshot, and detail the company's fail fast mantra at TechCrunch's Disrupt 2025. Notable companies that started out as moonshots from X's moonshot factory included Waymo and Wing. So X, not to be confused with X, as in now known as X, formerly Twitter. This is X's moonshot factory, which sits inside Alphabet. Teller noted that X has a 2% hit rate, which means most of the things the company tries don't work out, and that's okay. So this is basically to say, if you're going to be building stuff, like the majority of stuff, even like moonshots are more likely to fail, but you should just be trying more stuff. I think this is the reason why I like this article. He said that X defines a moonshot as having 3 specific components. The first, it needs to attempt to solve a huge problem in the world. Second, there needs to be some kind of product or service, however unlikely, would make the problem go away. Last, there has to be some sort of breakthrough technology that would provide a glimmer of hope at solving that large real-world problem. Here's a quote. If you worked at X and you would just come up with a teleporter, you've got a moonshot story hypothesis. I would say, awesome, here's a tiny amount of money. Go see if you can prove that it's wrong, because it probably is. He said, I don't want you to make it work. I want you to get information about whether it's really a once-in-a-generation opportunity or not. And it's okay if the answer is no. Okay, so huge idea. Let's see if it fails. It's most likely going to fail, but maybe if it works, it's going to be incredible. Yeah, it goes on to the rest of the article, but this was another interesting part. It says X starts more than 100 things every year. Well, 2% of them make it to exit. 5 or 6 years later, 44% of all the money the company spends on its things that graduate are outrageously good, Teller said. He says this is because X kills all the bad ideas and pretty ideas early in the process. Teller stated that the people can learn in innovation, noting that every single person was creative when they were children, but then we end up unlearning things that are useful, maybe even necessary for radical innovation. Okay. Astro Teller there, if you're thinking about building some stuff, keep building. Don't worry if it fails. Most stuff fails, and just keep going, keep trying things, especially if you're building moonshots. Okay, back to our little non-moonshot note-taking app. Okay, let's maybe prompt our assistant here to make this app 100x better. Take control of my browser and make this app 100x better by prompting the builder. Okay, so basically Comet can now overtake our browser. It can suggest changes, add new features, and we're basically just going to leave it to see what it does. Let me make sure it kicks off right, and then we'll just whiz through some more stories. If you haven't used Comet before, by the way, highly recommend it. It's very cool. Okay, Jesus. Okay. I just added a ton of stuff. Jesus wept. Okay, let's have a look what it did. Advanced AI-powered search, deep integrations, real-time collaboration, multi-user editing with live cursors. That may be a. Let's go one. Let's go one task at a time. You decide. Okay, so my AI is prompting another AI. If it submits it, yeah, nice. We'll just leave that for a second. Okay, I'll close that. We'll let this build, see what it comes up with. I've got no idea how it's going to work, but we'll see. Okay, this is Humane, Saudi startup Humane to launch new AI-based operating system. Looks like Saudi are doing a bunch of stuff. Saudi-based AI startup Humane, set up by the Kingdom's Sovereign Wealth Fund, plans to launch a computer operating system this week that enables users to speak to a computer to tell it to perform tasks, the company said on Monday. So it's like a voice-controlled agent. We might actually try to build one of those in a second. It sees systems such as its new product Humane One as an eventual alternative to icon-based systems like Windows or Mac OS that have dominated personal computing operating systems since the mid-1980s, a company spokesperson said. Rather than looking at icons where you click for discrete applications, now you speak your intent. That's great. Voice-controlled stuff, I think, is the future. While other companies are working on similar products, Humane aims to be the first to officially launch its system. Humane was launched in May under the Kingdom Sovereign Wealth Fund, the public investment fund, and it's chaired by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It offers AI services and products including data centers, AI infrastructure, cloud capabilities, and advanced AI models. A computer's operating system is a software that acts as the bridge between the user and the machine, managing hardware resources and providing essential services to other programs. Okay, I don't know if there's actually a link to Humane on here. Maybe there is. Let's see if we can open it up. Maybe we'll try and find a link to Humane. I think that was a post. Here we go. Humane Lab, powered by Humane OS, which has been suspended off X. Oh, wait. That's not the one. Wrong one. Humane. Let's go. This is the one. Okay. Land on the crypto project there. Here we go. Here is humane.ai, humane.com, the operating system for enterprise intelligence. A lot of good words here. Can I actually see it? Okay, it looks like a bit ChatGPT in AI workforce with some agent marketplace. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. We don't have to watch that. But yeah, that's Humane. Let's check in on our app to see how it is doing. We've got semantic search up here. Okay. New command bar. Here's the change it's made. Advanced AI powered search. New command bar. Prominent search bars at the top. Semantic search. Uses 2.5 Pro to understand. Voice activated. Intelligent results. Okay. Let's add some notes and we'll see. We'll see if it works. Here's a simple note to remind me to go shopping to get some bread, some milk, and some chicken and some mayonnaise for dinner tonight. Okay, I actually formatted it in a list. That's kind of cool. And do you see the saved icon? I did a little autosave icon. Maybe we'll go new note. I need to buy some birthday presents for my daughters whose birthday's coming up in a few weeks. I need to actually come up with some ideas. So remind me to find out what they want and then order them online. Okay, saved. Actually, I think maybe rather than typing a title, a good one would be to have the title auto-generated. Create a feature that actually auto-generates the title based on the note that I create. As soon as a note auto-saves, the title should be created at the same time. Okay. See what that does. Do I do this? Birthday, searching with Gemini. Okay, so I don't know if that is actually semantics. Oh, I actually found it. Okay, cool. So it actually did work, which is nice. We can do an extract tasks here too. Let's just see if this works. Okay, it's going to work on the title feature. We can move on and then we can come back to this one. Let's see the next story. Pinterest experiments with new AI-powered personalized boards. So yeah, I like this idea. Pinterest announced on Monday the new AI-powered upgrades to its boards make them more personalized for users. These features include an AI-driven collage styled for you that helps users create outfits from saved fashion pins and boards made for you, which are personalized boards curated with AI. So you actually don't have to go and save your boards manually. They can actually curate them for you. Styled for you, collages allow users to combine different clothing and accessories to create new outfits tailored to individual style preferences. By tapping an item in the collage, users swipe through an AI recommended saved pins for mixing and matching. Pinterest also testing boards made for you, personalized boards curated from a blend of editorial input and AI-powered suggestion. Okay, so there is a human in the loop there. It's not all AI. These boards feature trending styles, weekly outfit inspiration, and shoppable content. Is this just for outfits? It looks like it. Personalized boards. I thought Pinterest was for more than just clothes, but it looks like they're doing that first. Companies initially experimenting with the AI features in the US. Of course, not allowed to do that in the EU. That would be too much innovation for us to handle over here. The company says the aim of these features is to evolve Pinterest boards from mere organizational tools into a more personalized way to explore, shop, and find outfit inspiration. The initiative aligns with Pinterest's goal to position itself as an AI-enabled shopping assistant, indicated by the CEO during the company's second quarter earnings call. Yeah, all right. So it's recommend fashion and home decor products based on the user's saved pins. Okay, it does home decor too. That's pretty good. So if you're looking to redesign an office, it will work. If you're looking to redesign your outfit, you can do that too. Let's check in on our app quickly to see what we've got. Let's try recording a new app. Seems like we've got a auto title generation feature. Remind me to go shopping to buy a bunch of new t-shirts and a jacket. I've also got an event coming up on the weekend, so I need to buy a pair of smart trousers. Suggest title. The new note will automatically be replaced with the air. There we go. Okay. Does this actually show? Okay, let's make sure that the title's probably a bit too long, maybe. Is only 3 or 4 words. Show something that tells me it's generating. Okay, so it actually worked. On this kind of indication that it's actually generating a title on this one. And yeah, we're just going to make that change. Next story, Anthropic launched Claude for financial services with an Excel add-in. So if you're a big Excel fan, if you spend a lot of time doing spreadsheets, or if you work in finance, then Claude has just updated it for you. So here, Claude analyzes a spreadsheet containing Acme Grills Inc.'s consolidated income statement from 2020, 2024, providing real-time guidance on financial modeling. So now you have Claude built in, and now you can discuss how the spreadsheet works, modify it while preserving its structure and formula dependencies, debug and fix cell formulas, populate templates, new data and assumptions, or build new spreadsheets entirely from scratch. So we have a bunch of connectors inside of Claude, and now you can create new agent skills, which makes your life inside of Excel in finance much better. Let's watch this video so you can see exactly how this works. Let's get the sound on. Okay, here we go. So just to pause, you can see when it loads. Let's use the skill. Create a deal teaser for the Horizon group. I'll help you use this skill, deal teaser skill. Good. Imagine like all this work you have done paying a human beforehand, and now you can just actually use Claude to do it. Financial modeling is actually pretty tricky before, but now you can use it right inside of Nice, pretty nice. I guess that would have taken actually a lot of time for people to do. Actually, would without Claude. And so this is going to have a huge impact on financial services. We spoke earlier on about how most of Claude's customers or revenue comes from corporate customers, so companies and businesses and enterprises. So actually bringing these tools and these skills inside of financial services companies is going to be a huge, huge win for them, I can foresee. Okay, we'll go back to our little note taking app that we're working on at the same time. We can see if this new note, our title generator, is better. Remind me to try Claude's new financial services app later on. It looks like it'll be amazing to do financial forecasts inside of Excel. Okay, now we have a generating tab indicator up here where it's generating a title. It should be 3 to 4 words. It's fairly slow. I think we should actually speed this up. Oh, hold on. That title generation was very slow. Can we use a much faster model for this generation, please? Maybe Flash. See what it says. So basically the prompt was going, it was taking the note, creating a new title, but that was taking a long time. So let's make sure we're using the fastest model for that, and Flash is pretty much instant. So rather than using a big powerful model, we can use Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay. Next story. AI startup Mercor. AI startup Mercor now valued at $10 billion with $350 million in a new funding round. Here's the key points. AI startup hiring Mercor. Startup Mercor announced 350 million Series C funding, bringing its total valuation to 10 billion. The raise was led by Felicis with participation from Benchmark, General Catalyst, and Robinhood Ventures. The company was able to take advantage of the pivot to data labeling after Meta landing a 49% stake in Scale AI in June, effectively eliminating a competitor. Artificial intelligence startup Mercor announced on Monday. Okay, we've already read that. The new investment will feed into 3 focus areas: expanding the company's talent network, advancing its matching systems between experts and training opportunities, and provide faster delivery. Founded by 3 Teal fellows, the company initially started as a hiring company that assessed candidates by analyzing interview transcripts. After inadvertently amassing a network of specialized experts, the startup has pivoted to hiring highly skilled professionals to train AI models. Makes sense. Now manages over 30,000 contractors who are collectively paid over 1.5 million each day to teach agents to think more like humans by sharing knowledge, expertise, and context that can't be captured in code alone. The company was able to take advantage of the pivot. There we go. Before it was in the highlights. And yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Fair play. It doesn't just happen too often in startups where your biggest competitor gets torpedoed overnight. The co-founder Adash told Forbes the startup still faces competition in the data labeling space, including Scale AI rival Surge AI, which is reportedly aiming for up to 1 billion new funding, according to Reuters. Turing AI reached a valuation of 2.2 billion in March, and Invisible Technologies raised 100 million new round as well. Okay, congrats to Mercor. That's actually pretty crazy. Okay, we've got a new model switch. I think we've optimized the application. Let's create a new note, see if this title generates faster. Remind me to do some research on Mercor and how the data labeling side of business works. I want to figure out how they make their money, where they take their cuts, etc. Slightly faster. It's a bit faster. The AI service is now dynamically switched between Flash and Pro. Okay, cool. That's pretty good. Now we can go a new note. It's being saved. We've got an auto title generation. We've got search. Maybe see if these are any. Yeah, let's add folder organization. That'd be good. So the good thing is the AI Studio, it kind of just gives you recommendations of new features that you might want to add based off of your app, and then you can just kind of click them, and it just makes the app better, which is very cool. Next story. New image generating AIs are being used for fake expense reports. Okay, if you're looking at this and you've done it, shame on you. Software provider AppZen said fake AI receipts accounted for 14% of fraud attempts. Not great. Businesses are increasingly being deceived by employees using AI for an age-old scam, faking expense receipts. The launch of new image generation models by top AI groups such as OpenAI and Google in recent months has sparked an influx of AI-generated receipts submitted internally within companies, according to leading expense software platforms. Software provider AppZen said fake AI receipts accounted for 14% of fraudulent documents submitted in September, compared to with none last year. Fintech group Ramp said its new software flagged more than 1 million in fraudulent invoices within 90 days. It's a good advert for Ramp. If you haven't used Ramp, you should probably start using it if you don't want to be fleeced for expense reports for sure. Now, probably a good way, obviously, to do this too is to actually make your staff more aware of these sort of things. And if you want to upskill your staff in AI, then you could use someone like go9x.com. They help you upskill your teams in AI. They make them aware of how to build agents, how to create workflows to utilize AI in the workplace and at work. So you can go to go9x.com and they'll help you with exactly that. Okay, it looks like we have another feature. We've got a folder sidebar, I think, coming here. I think this is maybe a bit too narrow, is it? No. Should be able to see it. Okay. Let's have a look. Here's a folder breakdown. Folder sidebar. The note list sidebar is now. Oh, it's working on it. Okay. Still building. We'll move to the next story. OpenAI strengthening ChatGPT's responses in sensitive conversations. So they've worked with more than 170 mental health experts to help ChatGPT more reliably recognize signs of distress, responding with care, and guide people towards real world support, reducing responses that fall short of our desired behavior by 65 to 80%. So they've just guiding the chats to people to support. I think actually ChatGPT said, or OpenAI said, that 1 million people have talked to ChatGPT about suicide-related things. So that's not great, but hopefully it seems like they're doing something about it. We recently updated ChatGPT's default model to better recognize and support people in moments of distress. Today, we're sharing how we made those improvements and how they are performing, working with mental health experts who have a real-world clinical experience who've taught the model to better recognize distress, de-escalate conversations, and guide people towards professional care when appropriate. We've also expanded access to the crisis hotline, rerouted sensitive conversations originating from other models to safer models, and added gentle reminders to take breaks during long sessions. Okay, I wonder if there was a stat down here. I don't think there is, but this is a long article. I think the TLDR is that a lot of people are speaking with ChatGPT with regards to mental health issues, and they're trying to do something about it, because if people are using AI as a support tool, both to kind of get through issues, but then there's also the issue of getting attached to these things too. It may kind of escalate these thoughts. But yeah, if you want to read the whole article, you can do it. It's up on OpenAI's blog, but it's good to see that they're actually doing something about it. Okay, we have folders now, which is very nice. Can we drag and drop? Can we create a new folder? I think we can. We can, all notes, new folder. The new folder isn't working. That's kind of cool though. I wonder if we could do something like bring in links and stuff and save links in here and get summaries. We can add that next, maybe. Move on to the next story. We're on to the X timeline now. Elon Musk's XAI launches Grokpedia as AI-powered Wikipedia challenger. So Grokpedia has just been released in version 0.1, released on October 27th, 2025, an open-sourced encyclopedia with over 885,000 AI-generated and fact-checked articles powered by Grok AI. So this was in response to Wikipedia, or how some people like to call it Wokepedia, that constantly gets edited to lean one way or another on certain issues. Apparently, this platform features real-time verification and modern interface with editable histories and search tools, aiming to provide the unfiltered truth amid Musk's criticism of Wikipedia's biases. Early users commended its accuracy on topics like history and culture, while critics note potential right-leaning tilts in sensitive coverage. So we all know this argument about stories being changed to suit one way or another, and then hopefully this doesn't go the other way. We kind of want a truth-seeking body of knowledge, and hopefully Grokpedia will be that. It's open source. It's available now at grokpedia.com. The goal of Grok is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We will never be perfect. We shall nonetheless strive towards the goal. Someone here, Dylan, did a comparison. Note the difference between Wikipedia's first paragraph on George Floyd compared to the first paragraph on Grokpedia, and then the nuance of both. If you want to check it out, you can go to Dylan Loomis 22 and read the responses. But yeah, there's actually been some good uptake on this. Obviously, this is a very early version, and Wikipedia has been around for a long time with a huge amount of editors, so we'll have to kind of see how good they compare. But it'd be interesting to see, if nothing else, the comparison between the Grok Wikipedia article or the Grokpedia article and the Wikipedia article, to see how exactly they differ, which is always good. It's always good to see different side of things, for sure. Okay, I wonder if it's fixed this. Can we create a new folder? We can. Test. Okay, we've got a new folder, and then we can put this note in there, I think. We have a folder system. Okay, nice. What else shall we do here? Why don't we go with... let's go with... what can we do? Can we add... let's do that. See what it suggests. You can't actually see. This is slightly cut off. Bear with. Okay, there we go. That's better. So if you ever get stuck on what to add, you can just ask AI. It's a magnificent world we live in. Envisioning the future integrations. We'll see what it comes up with. In the meantime, Gumloop have released agents. So if you've not used Gumloop before, it's basically a node-based automation platform where you can connect different pieces of software together. And they've just released agents, which I think are very cool. We've seen agents inside of NAN. You've now seen them inside of Make, and Gumloop are now getting in on the act with theirs. Let me share this because there's some audio we can listen to. Here's a video. Cool. Let's check this. This is one. So have you seen, we've got like a familiar bar here. This is using it in Slack. Agents accomplish tasks for you natively in Slack using MCP and workflows. So you can say, get all social posts from my stale accounts in Salesforce. And this is basically sending instructions to Gumloop to go and fetch that information from different places and bring it back into Slack, which is cool. So anyone can trigger it once you've got it set up, and you can actually try that today at gumloop.com/agents. Let me just go shiny.com/agents. Show you exactly what this looks like. Let me just change the screen layout because it's slightly cut off. And here we go. You can basically create agents. You can create a new one here. You've got 2 or 3 already built, which connects a number of tools. And then you can go and you can create custom flows to do tasks for you if you ever used an automation platform before. So it's going to be familiar with you. If you haven't, then just go in and try it. See what you can build. They've actually got some templates here too. So if you wanted to actually do a simple automation to start with, like research a lead or research a LinkedIn profile or perform analysis on a LinkedIn profile, just hop into Gumloop and give it a whirl. They're actually very, very good indeed. Okay, looks like we're fixing an error back inside of our app. What are they doing? We asked to make this 100x better. A global command palette accessible everywhere with Command K, centralize every action, creating notes, switching folders. Okay, I like that. We have got the connected workforce, cloud sync and backend, replace local storage with a cloud backend like Firebase or Superbase. A proactive AI assistant, conversational interface. Use Gemini AI to mess up my screens. Use Gemini AI to do what? Be proactive. Allow users to talk to their notes. Hey, Gemini, where were the action items from my last meeting? With Jane, the AI will automatically detect conversations between notes and suggested links, creating a personal knowledge graph. Okay, that's cool. While this actually gets fixed, it looks like we've got a bug there. If you are a fan of creating apps in general, and maybe you've built some web apps, but you want to now move into multi-platform apps, it could be web and mobile, then I'd suggest using a product called Expo. So this is everything you need to build apps across every platform. So if you want to build for Android, for iOS, and on the web, Expo gives you the full stack React Native framework to be able to do that. You can go and use expo.dev to try that out. We've got a post here. Unfortunately, it seems like the co-founder of popular AI coding platform and AI coding startup, multi-billion-dollar coding startup, has left. Arvid Lundmark has left. Today, I told the team I've decided to leave Cursor, or AnySphere as it was known for most of the time I've been here. It is, of course, with a mix of feelings. I'm sad to leave the team and the product. I'm excited for the ideas I get to explore next. Consider this my public note of thank you to the entire team. I'm grateful for all of you. Okay. Fairly abrupt and short kind of note. I don't know. We don't know what's going on there yet. We'll have to find out. But Cursor are now down one co-founder. Okay, next actual release I want to show you is a tool called Mantle.work. So Mantle is an operating system for every company. This is a platform that tries to integrate all of your software, your piece of software, and actually do the grunt work for you. So tell Mantle about the grunt work you do, and it does it for you in the background exactly how you would directly in your stack. Let Mantle do the boring stuff so you can build. I think we should actually watch this because I think this is one attempt at how you can integrate AI kind of at the base of your business and get it to do different tasks for you and integrate with different tools. Again, let me pop the sound on so you can hear.
We're building Mantle to automate away the back office work you spend more than a third of your time on. Here's Mantle automating two huge pains: creating reports and drafting boring documents. First, I'm going to ask Mantle to create an agent that sends automated follow-ups after every meeting with attached BAs. Next, I'm going to ask Mantle to create an agent that sends me automated churn risk reports.
The agents are now ready. Now I'm going to hop off a call and see what Mantle does. Thanks, Sam. We're super excited to work together. Now I'm going to go to my drafts and wait a couple seconds for Mantle to generate a follow-up email. Mantle has created the draft. Let's open it up and see what it says. You can see that we have a good follow-up email with the BA attached to OpenAI. Now let's go ahead and check on the churn analysis agent. I've asked it to run every week. Let's go ahead and check Slack. It should be here in a couple of moments. You can see we have the analysis here, as well as a dashboard explaining who's most likely to churn. If you want to make your life easier, book a call at mantle.work.
Thank you.
Yeah, so obviously this is a brand new product, but I like the way that they're kind of thinking about how you use AI completely across the stack at work. This is going to be, I guess, integrated with most tools. It's going to be in Slack, it's going to be across your calendar, it's going to be in your email, it's going to be recording your calls, and then you have like an overarching orchestrator, like an operating system to do that. There's another app which is also excellent called Cofounder.co, which is this one, which I've actually used, which works very, very well. Automate your life from natural language. Cofounder plugs into existing tools, role automations, and organizes workflow, driving the software you're already familiar with. So similar sort of task they're trying to tackle. But yeah, I've actually tried Cofounder and I highly recommend it too. Let's check back in on our app. What has happened here? We've caught an error. I think we are working now. What were we doing before? Command palette. Command K. Does this work now? Hey! Okay. We can use Command K to create a new note. We can use Command K to delete the current note. Cool. Let's add some more actions to the Command K, as in doing things like summarize, activate the recording for a new voice note, etc., and any other features that you think might be good to add. Okay, let's move on. Let's let that cook for a moment. It's actually probably a good time to tell you about Teal HQ. Better resume, fast search, 6x the interview, simplified job search, land your next job 58% faster with Teal's suite of career tools. If you think about a career change, go to Teal HQ. It's completely free and it'll help you find your next job, improve your resume, track your applications, and match you better than you can do on your own. That is for certain. Okay, we've got a post from Reddit. This time this is from Paige, who's actually, I think, DevX engineering lead at Google DeepMind, I think working on Studio too. ChatGPT said yes, Gemini said no, do not proceed, and found a key detail that changed everything. The key detail was that the employer's NI threshold, secondary threshold, has significantly changed for the current year, and the accountant was using numbers from the previous year's threshold in the proposal, so that plan would not have worked for this year. So this is just good to give more context about how different models work. A lot of people in general would just be using the free version of ChatGPT, and they'll either have a good experience or a bad experience, or it might not fit the use case that they're trying to use it for. And this is a good example of that. It goes on to say the accountant confirmed the error in the proposal, which means the plan had to be changed. So the post here is Google Gemini 2.5 Pro is underrated for when it really matters. So there's basically an error in the filing that they're doing, and ChatGPT missed it. Google Gemini Pro actually caught it. Now, we don't need to read that whole post, but I think one thing to take away from this is if you're actually building an agent workflow, it could be in, I don't know, any builder. Like it could be Zapier, it could be Make, it could be N8N, it could be Stack AI, any one of those. A good hack here or a good piece of knowledge is to use one LLM to check the output of another. So if you are using 4.0 to do some summarization or to complete something, maybe check it with a powerful model like a Gemini 2.5. It's worth spending the extra pennies or fractions of a pennies to get it checked, because otherwise you're missing important info that another model might not catch for you. Okay, we are doing, how far have we got with this app? Let's see. Okay, we've added some more to the Command K, the command palette. Let's toggle it on. Okay, we have create new note, delete current note, extract tasks from current note, read aloud current note. Let's see if that works. Here is a simple note to see if we can actually read it aloud using the command bar. Hopefully it'll save, generate a title. Okay, note read aloud test, and then if we go Command K, go read aloud current. Are you going to be able to hear this? Wait, no, you're not. Okay, I might change the view slightly, but we can try it.
Here is a simple note to see if we can actually read it aloud using the command bar.
Amazing. It worked. Let's see what else we can do. We can extract tasks, start a new voice note. Let's see if this works. Yep, toggled on. That worked. And now we're actually recording in a completely new note. Amazing. That's cool. We can do this fairly fast. Let's do... And then, yeah, love that. Okay, what are the features? Improve folder UI, add translation, confirm folder deletion. We'll do improve folder UI. We'll let it run always through the next few stories. We've got a few more to get through. But yeah, looks pretty cool. Okay. This was from Matt Schumer. This is infiniteadventures.games. This was a test as to what AI is going to be able to do in the future. So generative games is the task here. And he says AI games are going to be amazing. Sound on. Went crazy in all directions. 20 million views. Polarizing topic. Obviously, let's watch it so you can get an idea of what's going to be coming in the future. Bear with. Let's make sure we've got this sound on. Comment tab. Here we are. It's almost like a choose your own adventure game, but everything is generated by AI. I think Matt actually did this in not a extremely long period of time. I think it was over a couple of evenings, but
they've got a chopper on us.
The idea behind this is all this is generated with, I think, VO 3.1 with Google. So you're generating the scenes, choose your own adventure. I think you can carry on generating scenes. If they haven't already been generated before by a user, then you can go on and generate them. There's another example here. But yeah, a lot of pro people, obviously this is the worst it's ever going to be. A lot of pushback. It's a very, very polarizing topic, but shout out for Matt. He's always pushing the boundaries as to what's possible with AI. You can go to infiniteadventures.games if you actually did want to try it out. Okay. Another topic that is extremely polarizing recently on the timeline from Zuhair Lakhani. Yes, we built a foam farm and it's pretty sick. At first, it was to tackle the first evolution of AI in socials, replacing human creators with AI, mainly used for marketing. Many businesses use us for that today. So they started a company called Double Speed. Here we go. Robots have your eyes. Control is all you need. The double speed terminal allows you to orchestrate actions on thousands of social accounts before bulk content creation and deployment. Okay. The most polarizing topic out there. This is basically funding or fueling the amount of bots or amount of synthetics that are running around the internet performing actions. It could be posting on social, it could be any form of other interaction. And this is commanding the attention. Intelligent economy or system analyzes what works to make the content smarter over time. The best performing content becomes the training data for what comes next. So some may call it the slop factory, some may call it the future of the internet, some may call it marketing. This is AI UGC, content posting. You can create personas, content fine tuning, you can post in bulk, one video 100 different ways, you can create workflows. Never pay a human again. Wowza. Automating attention. I mean, I'm all for innovation and I don't mind this sort of thing because this is the way it's going. Obviously, you can resist, we can take another side of it. That's absolutely fine. But I think the internet is going to be rife with these things. So it's going to be interesting to see how the internet evolves to accommodate this sort of activity. But yeah, expect more robots everywhere on the internet over time indeed. Okay, so I think if you want to actually create some interesting content, maybe you want to train a model on yourself, maybe you want to create high quality AI images or videos, then you could do well to go and land yourself on Let's. Let's is the AI which you can add in yourself, your products, and in your style. It's completely for free to start creating. Create what you love with Let's. Start using the best image generation and video generation models available today. Let's check back in on our build to see exactly where we are. And we have, I think, an app with some good functionality. We've cleaned up the folders. We can create a new folder. You can cross it off. We can organize our notes. It's AI generated titles, summarize, suggest title, extract tasks, save and new. We can upload a file. We can do a bunch of stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Let me see, add light mode and make the styling brutalist and minimal. Okay, let's send that. I think that is pretty much it for the stories I had for you today. There is one product which I think is also good, which is probably worth talking about. If you actually wanted to use an AI to go and fetch information from across the internet, let's say I had a link that I wanted to check on every now and again. I wanted to pull down all the information. Maybe I wanted to get all the information off my website and turn it into a file to feed a chatbot, for instance. Then the tool that I would recommend using for this is a tool called, bear with me, firecrawl.dev. Turn websites into LLM ready data, power your AI apps with clean web data from any website. It's also open source. Scrape, search, map, and crawl at firecrawl.dev. Amazing tool. I've used it for a bunch of products and I recommend you using that too. Let's see if we can get this light mode and dark mode done and this style change done in a couple of minutes, and then we can wrap up. But yeah, I think now app building is wide open for anybody to do. If you've got an idea of an app that you've been wanting to create for a while and it has some AI functionality that you want to add, I'd probably advise using Google AI Studio for sure. I think it's the most tightly integrated with AI functionality. There's others that can add it, or maybe they're good at the front end and they have a back end, but the adding AI functionality in is a little bit trickier. Whereas Google have gone straight for the add AI functionality, and then they're going to be adding in the back end and the front end work on that side. So we'll see how we do. But yeah, this is a very, very good product, and I think a lot of people will benefit from trying it out. Okay, so we're adding some icons, we're updating the app. Should be able to get something done. Light mode and dark mode, one of the features that people actually request quite a lot of because people have an affinity to one or the other. So if one is missing, then people are not happy. Okay, it's changing all of the components. Okie dokie. We'll come back to that in a second. I wanted to tell you about one more product that I think is definitely worth talking about. If you want to actually create mobile apps, so we've actually talked about web apps today. If you actually did want to create mobile apps, then go to createanything.com. Just turn your words into mobile apps, sites, tools, and products built with code. Add GPT-5 and up to 40 AI integrations in an instant. This is a similar sort of way that you add integration inside of Gemini. They're pre-packaged and easy to add. They've thought of that really well. You can go to createanything.com and start pushing mobile apps into the app stores today. Here we go. We have our new brutalist note taker here. We've got light mode and dark mode, which doesn't actually work. The light mode, dark mode toggle doesn't work, but the new styling looks great. Let's give it a little bit of a compliment. But yeah, it's really cool now, like what you can build in not a lot of time. And by the way, this was all free. So everything I've done today in this Google AI Studio session has been free. Wait, the toggle works, but the theme doesn't change. Styling doesn't change. Okay, let's give it one more minute and then we will see if this works and then we will wrap up. Okay, will it work? There we go. We've got a light mode, we've got a dark mode, we've got a bunch of AI features, we've got the command palette with Command K to create a new note, delete one, extract task from current note, read aloud, start a new voice note, and a bunch of other good stuff. And that's it. Shout out to Google AI Studio. It's looking amazing. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Catch you same time tomorrow, 2 p.m. CET, where we'll be doing it all again.